more and welcome to Millennium Headlines. This week's top headlines are: what Trump's family separations executive order does. President Donald Trump on Wednesday reversed course after days of digging in on a policy that resulted in immigrant family separations at the border, signing an executive order that will keep far more families together at the border. The order also seeks more authority to detain those families together until the end of their immigration proceedings. That process will begin immediately, which is likely to be met with swift legal challenges. Though the order does acknowledge that current law may restrict their hands, it is a reversal from days of claiming that in its decision to refer all adults crossing the border illegally for criminal charges and thus sending them away from their kids and into the hands of the Justice Department. The administration had no choice but to separate families. The executive order states it is the policy of the administration to maintain family unity, a new position from the administration which has been defending the separation of families and blaming the families themselves for putting themselves in the position of being separated by crossing the border illegally, saying the administration's hands were tied. While the Justice Department will continue to prosecute adults who cross the border illegally in federal court, the order says Trump asked that families be housed together, where appropriate and consistent and law and available resources are available. It was not immediately clear whether the caveats would still result in the substantial number of separations. Chilling 911 call reveals abuse in Turpin family. The 17-year-old girl who called police to report her abusive parents in Paris, California, said the house the family lived in smelled so badly that she could barely breathe, and she thought she and her 12 siblings might need to go to the doctor. And when she struggled to remember the address of the home, the 911 operator asked her if she was around the corner from her house. "Yeah, I think," the girl said. "I've never been out. I don't go out much." That chilling 911 call was made public Wednesday as a part of a preliminary hearing in the case against David and Louis Turpin, the California couple accused of holding their 13 children. Prosecutors say the couple beat and tortured their children, kept them chained to their beds, and starved them, all while the family dogs were kept clean and well fed. They were arrested on January 14th after their 17-year-old daughter escaped from a window and called 911 on a deactivated cell phone. The Turpin siblings are comprised of 6 minors and 7 adults, ranging in ages from 2 years old to 29. David Turpin, 56, and Louise Turpin, 49, pleaded to not guilty to more than 40 charges, including torture, false imprisonment, abuse of a dependent adult, and child abuse. David Turpin also pleaded not guilty to 1 account of lewd conduct with a minor. Despite the horror of the 911 call, the girl's voice sounded remarkably calm and clear while relating her experience. But the call, as well as the police who responded to the scene, provided several disturbing new details from the home and the degree to which the parents controlled their children's lives. "I can't breathe because of how dirty the house is," the Turpin daughter said on the call. "We don't take baths. I don't know if we need to go to a doctor." Come to meet Queen Elizabeth with ambassadors. President Donald Trump will meet Queen Elizabeth when he visits Britain next month, the U.S. ambassador said. Speaking to Sky News in the UK, Johnson said he has to see the head to state. Putting his foot on the ground of British soil, it's a job, one, very, very important, very symbolic. Meeting Her Majesty is the most important thing because she is the head of state. And from there on, it'll be that it'll be what the president wants to do, Johnson said. Johnson and the president's advance teams will be in the UK next week to sort out more details of the visit, which will take place on July 13th. Mouse chases the fox. Disney makes $71 billion nominal. Disney is offering more than $71 billion for Fox's entertainment businesses in a counterbid to Comcast's nearly $66 billion offer. The battle for the 21st Century Fox reflects a new imperative among entertainment and telecommunications films. They are amassing even more programming to better compete with technology companies such as Amazon and Netflix for viewers' attentions and dollars. The bidding war comes after AT&T bought Time Warner for $81 billion, and Disney's move had been expected since Comcast made it a bid last week. Disney said it's raising its offer because Fox's value increased due to tax reforms and operating improvements. After 6 months of integration planning, we're even more enthusiastic and confident in the strategic fit, CEO Bob Iger said at the statement. If Disney prevails, Avatar and other movies from Fox's studios would help beef up Disney's upcoming streaming services. Disney, which already owns Marvel, would get back the characters previously licensed to Fox, setting the stage for X-Men and the Avengers to appear together. If Comcast wins, it would get a larger portfolio of cable channels, including FX and National Geographic. In a call with analysts, Iger said he believes Disney's bid is superior to Comcast from a regularity perspective. He said that 6 months of dealing with the regulators, both in the US and internationally, would give Disney a meaningful head start. Comcast, based in Philadelphia, did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Fox previously rejected a bid from an unnamed company, widely believed to be Comcast, because of fears it would face regulatory objections. But a federal judge's approval of AT&T's bid for Time Warner signals that the government might have difficulties mounting antitrust challenges. Just how high can be the bidding war go? GBH Insights analyst Dan Eves said he thinks that the line in the sand is $75 billion to $80 billion. That said, this poker game appears to be just getting started. Disney's original all-stock offer in December was $428 per Fox share. That offer is now valued to at least $52.6 billion based on the latest number of outstanding shares provided by Fox. Disney's new offer of $38 per share, or $71.3 billion, is half cash and half stock. The deal would include Fox movie and TV shows, some cable networks, and international assets, but not Fox News Channel or the Fox Television Network. But the New York company said it is still weighing both offers and noted that Disney's new bid doesn't bar Fox from considering other offers. Fox and Disney shareholders have been scheduled to vote on Disney's original bid on July 10th, but that meeting has been postponed. In midday trading, shares of Fox rallied nearly 7% for $47.21. Disney edged up to 6 cents to $106.15, while Comcast rose 10 cents to $32.71. Leaves China as South Korea urges concrete plan on nukes. South Korea urged North Korea on Wednesday to present a plan with concrete steps towards denuclearization, raising the pressure on its leader Kim Jong-un as he met with Chinese President Xi Jinping in a visit designed to convey the country's growing closeness. Kim and Xi held a second day of talks, whose grounds China's official Xinhua news agency described in unusually lyrically terms as a being full of verdant greenery and splendid flowers, adding to what the propaganda outlet said was the close and friendly atmosphere of the talks. The pomp and circumstance looked geared towards showing off the major improvement of relations between the communist neighbors, along with China's important role in keeping North Korea on track. But, but it casts no light on the main question that hangs over the previous reclusive North Korean leader's surge to diplomatic activity in recent months. What's the next steps, if any, will Kim take to dismantle his country's nuclear program? At his summit with U.S. President Donald Trump last week in Singapore, Kim pledged to work toward denuclearization to exchange for U.S. security guarantees. The U.S. and South Korea also suspended a major joint military exercise that was planned for August in what was seen as a major victory for North Korea and its chief allies, China and Russia. In Seoul, the South Korean President Moon Jae-in urged North Korea to present actionable plans on how it will scrap its nuclear program and the United States to swiftly take unspecified corresponding measures. Moon's office said he made the remarks to Russian media ahead of his trip to Moscow later this week. Moon, who has met with Kim twice in recent months, said the North Korean leader is willing to give up his nuclear program and to focus on economic development if it's provided with a reliable security guarantee. China backs the North's call for a phased and synchronous approach to decolonization, as opposed to Washington's demand for an instant, total, and reversible end of the North's nuclear programs. Accompanied by the elaborate escort of motorcycle and black sedans, Kim left for Pyongyang later in the day, ending his third visit to China this year. The U.S. says China is in agreement on that point, although Chinese officials say sanctions should not be an end in themselves. Kim was expected to have sought China's help with getting relief from the sanctions during the visit. Xinhua's report did not mention sanctions, but quoted Kim as saying that the two countries are as close and friendly as family and help each other. Thank you for watching Millennium Headlines. This has been Nishat Noor. See you next week.